following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome here as we continue on Movie May for the 2025 MRE Uno Tournament T3. This afternoon, we are in the Slushie region as we have made our way into the Thriller 32, a chance for someone to move on to the Sci-Fi 16. This afternoon, we bring you coverage of Toasty versus Llamas, and both coming into this matchup with a little bit different history here in 2025. For Cody, we documented his first series victory back during the round of 64 to advance here into this next round, going all the way back to late 2024. He was able to sweep in his first series here in T3. He is looking to continue to play with that house money, but he's going up against a formidable foe here in Toasty, who was solid back in T1, struggling a little bit there in T2, but he's trying to make a push for a Super League berth here in 2025. So for both of these individuals, expect to see some pretty aggressive play style in this one. This is going to be an interesting matchup, especially with what waits on the horizon, because one of these two are going to move on to the Sci-Fi 16 to take on the number 1 seed in Myth, who was able to defeat Goldie handily in a 4-2 victory. Myth waiting in the wings, the winner of this one. And this one of a number of streams that we'll be bringing you during the course of this one. Join us following this stream, as you'll be seeing in the Soda region, Vapor taking on Ed at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're a fan of high electric bills, expect a lot of light switches potentially in that one. And then prime time here tonight, also in the Soda region, you'll have KT, the number 1 seed, taking on number 8 seed Abiyan. In between there, Lane Sanders going to be finishing up a series that was paused midway through with hockey to see who's going to be moving on there in the Slushie region. So it's all beverages here today on a Thursday afternoon. We're going to head down here to the table, pulling double duty, I believe. No, actually, correction. He's joining me here in the booth. We've actually got Vapor, who's doing the ref duties. Here is KT, and man, KT coming to this one, as I said, Cody's playing with house money, but Toasty's coming in with a lot of momentum, and he's got a goal to get into that Super League. With that being said, both of these two, like I said, I feel like we talk about all these different types of play styles. I think for both of them today, we're going to see aggressive on both sides.
Yeah, both guys is interesting. It's funny that both these players are matched. We obviously know Cody's story. He's more this guy, pack the suitcase, see what happens like he usually does. Toasty's in a similar boat. He does the same type of things. He packs his suitcase, and sometimes it's a bucket of fun, and sometimes it's just crack boy Toasty, CRIKEY man. So I'm interested. I think both guys have a really good chance to spice it up here tonight for the fans, and look forward to seeing both play. Obviously, Toasty coming off a 4-2 over Steven, and Llamas with the sweepers. So we'll see if both can continue the momentum after a good round one. I'll let you take the questions for Toast. I got Llamas, so we'll start it off with Toasty, Seth.
All right, so Toasty coming into this one, you've got a chance not only to move on to the Sci-Fi 16, but as we mentioned, you're right there on the brink trying to make that push into the Super League here. Middle portion of this tournament, if you will, here in T3. I mentioned about the potential aggressive style that we'll see out of you here. Is that the case here, especially since we know about the motivation here that Cody has getting his first series victory since 2024? Or do we maybe kind of go into that Super League mentality here where we big picture play, maybe a little on the offense, a little on the defensive side here, knowing what's at stake with Myth waiting in the wings?
That's Toast answers out. Good, my main man Llamas. Cody. Let's see, here comes Toast. I'm gonna go.
Gonna go crazy. Short and to the point. All right. Not aggressive, crazy aggressive.
No, he always does this this funny stuff. But look, Cody, obviously, it's been a successful venture in round one. Been solid for your old Florida Panthers out there. Things are looking pretty good for you on the upswing. Your thoughts on playing the CRIKEY man down there from New Zealand this morning, where he's at, and what do you gotta do to just play the usual Cody Llamas we know? What are we looking at here today? Give us your opening thoughts.
I think you said it pretty well. Just play the usual. See, it can usually pretty adjustable, so we'll fill out the one, I'm sure, lucky 5-card start that we're probably going to start with, and go from there. Just stick to what you know, and if you need to adjust, you can adjust. And I think I've proven that I can be pretty adjustable to anybody's play style, so we'll see if it works out.
All right. Thanks, Llamas. And Seth, off to you, man. Should be a good one. Both guys know what they got to do for sure.
Absolutely. Best of 7, 1 power play apiece. Toasty with the highest seed gets the first home stand. So, Toasty, we're going crazy here, you said. What are we going to have for our first opening hand here in this series?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Llamas just called it. Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
Doesn't want to, but he will.
Yeah, it's the classic Toast. He always does this, for sure.
So 5
All right, let's see what Toasty will do here.
This is going to be interesting.
We'll see how he plays this, because 5 cards it can go quick, so we'll see. Late start test. Let's see what Toasty will do. Not a +2 or a skip or reverse or something like that, so that's normal start.
Very rarely do we see anybody be able to have the right amount of cards to be able to have either number efficiency or enough ammo cards to complete a 5-card sweep and run it without drawing. Normally this will get into draw city territory. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. Maybe kind of, it's interesting here with Toasty as well, starting at 5 cards. Is this a test the waters to see what the luck is with the lower cards, or is this something to maybe throw Cody off a little bit?
Well, he always does this 5 card, just try to juice the game. Let's see what Cody will do to respond. And he just does nothing just to play it cool. And like I said, it's 5 cards. It can go in a heartbeat. So
down to 3 cards left. Oh, Toasty with a reverse. Does he have something to follow up, or does this put him into a draw? Or does he have a finish here? There's no way.
5 cards.
If it's 5, that check. Cody with the call out, but the Uno was punched in. So down to check. Now does Cody have an answer?
Plays it cool, yeah.
Is this a finish?
There's not much you can really do here. So that's 5 cards, and he doesn't have it. So
iced out.
Cody gets out of
now.
that.
Can he get to check? No, he cannot.
No, 5 cards, it can go in a flash, man, but it also sometimes can be a draw city type game. So we'll see what toppers will do here, as they're both going to draw. So there's no top deck heaven there for either player.
So in all of that, between the 10 cards distributed, only 1 reverse in terms of any type of ammunition. And now we're drawing for said ammunition that we were lacking on that initial 5-card draw.
It's the beauty of it. It's the beauty of the 5 carders. You just don't know. Here comes Cody. Here comes Toaster and draw C. They're going to run it clean here.
It's interesting too, because there's different aspects where we'll see so many times with a 5-card start them draw back, and sometimes they'll get into the 12, 13, 14 cards apiece. Why do we start with the 5 cards to get to that point rather than just starting with the 12, 13, 14 card start?
It's a school of thought as we'll go to green here. Sometimes you want to start the game, like you said, test the luck, test the waters. Sometimes you just want to play the aggression. You're at home, maybe get a steal or win. We've seen that too. I'm interested to see what it will be. Well, there's Cody with a pluser. Okay. +2
Draws
ties
it
it
back
up.
even 5-5. And I guess to your point too, let's say you start out with a high tier start and you end up winning that game. That's a number you're not able to call on later on a future home game that maybe you might want to. Probably unlikely that we would see somebody call on a 5-card start in games 4, 5, 6, even that crucial game 7.
No, it's definitely a icer type of game. See if you can steal one, go from there. It's classic game 1, but 5 cards makes it a little more aggressive. And well, there's the another aggression we talked about. There's a new color. Should open up Pandora's. As there we go.
Yep. So far we now have hit all 4 colors with the first appearance of blue. Ran in red and green for the most part. We were on yellow to start with. Didn't last very long on that one, so might have some yellow that we'll come back to here at the close of this game, potentially.
And here comes Toast looking for a potential check again. Check
Go get
again.
it.
See what Llamas will do here. Nothing, just plays it cool. So he's banking on basically nothing other than no blue. Let's see if that works.
It's also banking on,
It
maybe
works.
maybe Toasty was looking for number efficiency there with that 4, swapped it to the 2, did Cody. So now can Cody get to check, or are we back into a second draw city? He is at check.
Check it is. Yep. So Cody the check. Toast looking for nothing. So here
on
comes
the top
Cody for the
deck.
win. No.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean you gotta think right there, Seth. There wouldn't have been any sense of urgency too, because we've read all 4 colors, but there's not much to really be. Let's see if Cody gets a topper though.
Yes,
okay.
he did.
Another topper.
I almost feel like
See
it
what
might be the yellow. It might be the yellow that we're waiting on. Maybe on both sides.
Toasty plays it cool. Here comes Llamas. Nope. Yeah, nothing really. Yeah, like I said, it's so hard with 5 cards to generate anything. So into green
Back
again.
into
Interesting.
green. Interesting there. Yeah, that's not the color I expected us to be going to next.
Nah. You're right. I think the yellow. Something's lacking in that yellow's Llamas draw. So this is right now. It's just 2 color. Just kind of feel it out for sure.
So now only that must have been a top deck there for Toasty that able to light switch into the green through the 7s, because he also iced himself out here as we go back into our now 3rd draw city.
Yeah, they're feeling it. They're feeling that draw city now for sure. A lot of draw city, but a lot of just numbers not going the right way, and it's a little save tactics maybe a little bit as they both continue. I think they're both content here, Seth. As Vapor says, balls of steel there, but really it's hard with 5 cards. There's no reading. It's more just, do you have the fuel and the feel off the first couple initial get-go cards to generate a run, or go for a backdoor efficiency play? I'm interested to see if Cody can actually generate something maybe in the back end, and the Toasty guy will try to maybe just do another topper, so maybe just a classic green. Maybe someone's holding a green. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, it's also interesting too, and
Yeah.
I've been the victim of this as well. When you end up getting that ammunition, your kind of knee-jerk reaction is to play it, but a lot of times we'll see a lot of the veterans, they'll continue to draw, they'll hold on to that ammunition. Yes, they may have more cards than on the other side of the table, but
and that's the beauty of this game. Sometimes you want to play it, sometimes you don't. Here comes Llamas.
It's always about that timing.
See what he'll do here.
Finds a wild, and he does bring it over to yellow. So here we go. This
taking
is
his time.
This
So
is
yeah,
what
he's
I
thinking this one
wondered
through, using a little. What was that? So go ahead.
This is the color I think that both of them were looking to finish on. So we could very well in these next couple of plays maybe see that last card both of them needed when they were down at check. Oh man,
Taking their time.
There's the holding on to the ammo right there.
Yeah, it is the holding on to the ammo. My Discord was like, he played his own card too, but now he gets freshies, so that's interesting. Some freshies for Llamas, and now we'll see what he can do with 6 of them.
Toasty down to 5. Cody drawn back to 11 with the stacked +2. We're also back into blue. We were iced out on blue earlier on.
This is weird. This is a weird one because we've been through every color and there's not one cycle color, because Toast didn't have the yellow finish as of now. Cody at the same time, when you fight fire with fire, he could be like, okay, lost the +2 in yellow. So if he was saving, he's got the advantage there. We'll see what we'll fire back with here. Oh my,
There's an
humongous
answer
play
back.
from Cody. Yeah, he'll
Quad
take
play.
the
That's
lead.
why he was taking so long there, typing that long command out. And he
Goodness,
brings it.
his toast.
More importantly, he brings it back to yellow. So what he utilized one of his wild cards to do, he now brings it back with a +4. And
Ooh,
Toasty
this
answers right back and brings it back to green.
The Llamas have a 3. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Would he play the back? Yeah, called
Good
it.
call. Good call.
Backdoor 3. Yeah, backdoor 3. Great play from Cody. And that's something you got to always keep in mind with both these guys. They like to fade a lot. They like to play aggressive, and now Llamas can run the blue, and he will right off the bat.
Double play.
Yeah, I'm noticing
overnight.
Cody's playing a little bit like Ghost, which is intriguing because that guy plays extremely quick. There's toast back to green though.
Gosh. Cody has another answer.
Blue.
Man.
It's the poker theory, baby. It's the poker theory. Wow. Yeah, I got a smile underneath my old hat because he may have copped that one up, but he goes to red. Oh man, he had a lot of. What is that? Threes. Cody's got the poker. He's got the full houses right there.
Look at all them nines.
He's got the full houses.
This is interesting. Toasty going to red. He was utilizing the number efficiency to try and to ice Cody out on green, and now Cody at check.
Well, if you're toast right here, you're thinking, well, at this rate, you went to the red. You may have actually copped Cody out on that yellow. You never know. So
Yeah.
he might be thinking, okay, if the yellow's still the thing, like you said earlier, he's still in a good spot right here. We'll see.
Was there an offensive card there? I was going to say that Toasty went to red specifically for,
but
you see
8
him
was
play it
crazy because
cool.
the 8. Remember, the 8 was earlier. The 8 was the one thing lurking. I was about to
Oh,
say the 8.
ditto!
Wow.
Ditto to close it out.
That's crazy.
The number of
'Cause, yeah, I was
efficiency
gonna say,
off
Seth-
the charts for Cody in game 1.
I was going to say, Seth, because that 8 earlier in the game, you wonder if Cody had saved it. It was off the blue 8, and Toasty had did the blue 7, so I was thinking maybe the 8 was the one thing. I'm going to go to... Oh, you got to go Toasty because he's typing first. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah. I mean, Toasty, obviously, a great back and forth there. I'm kind of curious as well. Was yellow the color you were lacking there when you were down to check? Because it seemed like that was the one color we hadn't yet dipped our toes into. And also that back and forth with the ammunition there. He plays the +4 and you stack the +2s. You talked about going crazy here in this first game. We definitely went crazy there.
Oh, man, that was crazy. Llamas, crazy poker hand, man. 3s, 9s, 8s, the wild, plenty of full houses there. Talk to me about a little bit some of those backdoor fades, man, with the double colors and double numbers, because it made me smile because that's a move I love, and you did a good job there to execute that. Talk to me through how you were able to plan that one out after he threw that humongous +2 change and you fire right back with the +4. Go through that real quick.
Yeah, it was pretty boring of a start. I was kind of stuck on the yellow skip and had really no connections throughout the first set of drawing we did. And then over time through the draws, I got some 9s and 3s. I had 2 3s, 2 9s in the yellow skip. And then when I switched it to yellow with the wild, I felt pretty confident that I could play the yellow skip and then go through number efficiency, either the 3 and the 9 path. But then he did the +2s, and then that just gave me a bunch of even more 9s. So it was just a matter of playing the wild +4. I felt like I was very confident in the +4 to change momentum, make that big run there, and then with the rest of the cards I had, I was able to just kind of wind it down, 9s and 3s, as you guys saw.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the beauty sometimes of 5, right? You take the risk, you got to try to get the juice going and flowing. And I think both guys got what they wanted. He needed yellow there. Toast decides to throw the hammer, right? Throw the kill shot +2s. Took Llamas fires back. That's what you want a 5-card start. Back and forth. We got to go to Draw City. It wasn't a 30-second banger, right? So we'll see what Toast will do here, but the 925 definitely is a a good indication. This one could be a little bit in for the long books here today, for sure.
Absolutely. I think we could call what transpired there with the 5-card start beautiful chaos if you were watching this first game. Cody with the victory there on the road, but an opportunity to draw it back even here with his second home stand. Toasty, it's all open again here. What are we doing for game 2?
I'm interested because this is usually where Toasty sends it to the full, but we'll see. He'll go 11 here. So he won't go that min-max route. So that's one of his famous trademarks for sure. We'll start her up.
Starts off in the red with the red 7. Might take a little bit of time here. Now, I mean, when you're at a 5-card start, there's not much choice. There's not much strategizing. There's usually only one card you can usually play. Now we take a little bit of time kind of plan out our runs here with a higher card start.
Yeah, that's the beauty part of this game, man. You really got to adapt to the card start variety. Sometimes you go low and you can reward yourself with the win. Sometimes you go high, you think you got more of the ammo, the extra cards you need to finish it off with the phase. There's the fade there to Cody. But then you get burnt. But this one's really not high or low. It's just about right with the old pullers. 10, 11. It's usually where we get to that sweet spot for sure.
And even with just a 5-card start, it looks like when I looked over, the stats there from that first game, it looked like the ammo was pretty even on what was drawn back. The double +2 kind of canceled out by Cody's +4. Each of them played a while to try and establish color control. It seemed pretty even there. Now when we get into these higher card starts here, into these double digits, that's when we sometimes will see the ammo be a little bit lopsided sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see. This is where we get into, and for Toaster Guy, I think he's in a good spot right here, actually, considering, hey, you know what? I got him right where I want him on the 5 to 11, go around the rainbow. Cody, at the same time, is he'll go for the Seth Wild. He's still figuring this out because you also got to adjust to that higher setting, right? Because you're a player, when you have that higher setting, it's ingrained in you. Sometimes adjusting to the lower setting, you got to take a little bit to get to the reading. So we'll see how this one goes as we have a little wild play, which we saw earlier in that first game, of course, with Cody's wild in the yellow.
Yeah, Cody, when he utilized the wild in game 1, that was to be able to ice Toasty out. This one looks like to try and establish.
Reverse.
Yeah, it might try and bring it back to another color here, maybe with a double reverse meta. Nope, instead just a double play and stays cool in green.
Cody will play it cool as a cucumber. Toast will play it cool. Just establish possession. See what we'll hear from Toast. He got a +2. See what he's got. Just another split ammo, Chomix style, down at 2. Now you're interested because that split ammo style there, what you saw there, Seth, as he breaks up the ammo, you wonder what Cody had in the green to make that initial. Did he have the other +2 to nullify it? Is there a potential backdoor finish that he was looking for? So we'll have to ask him that on that green wild heat check.
Let's see whatever that card maybe is that he had in green, trying to get it over to green with the wild if he plays it here. With Toast on his next play, potentially able to get to check, maybe a finisher, depending on what he's got.
I'm just looking for something right here. +4, so yeah, it might have been a potential finish there that Cody had planned, but it'll be stopped by Toast. Good work from Toast to stop it with the +2. That's good back and forth.
Interesting there, plays the +4, but keeps it in green, actually dittos the last card. And now Toasty will bring it over into the red. So interesting there. Maybe just the +4 there to draw it back even, but really still wanted to keep it in the green. That's interesting. You kind of wonder what else does he have in green there that he wasn't wanting to play right then.
Either that or he's just baiting a switch. We'll see.
Could be.
Intriguing there from Llamas right there. Let's see if this red is exactly what he needs, or is Toasty just confident to make the break that we'll find out. Here he comes. Taking his time right here, so you never know with this one, Seth.
Yeah,
oh my goodness!
That's the heck?
Nasty! That is nasty.
What?
That's nasty. There's nothing Toast can do.
Wow. That's nuts.
You got out of luck, yeah.
How many did he have of those, or did he get one on the +2? Like, if he had all 4 on the initials, or all 3, I mean, then my gosh.
Is that a bad break from Toasty throwing you a +2, or did you had to have at least one? I'm going to assume, or did you have all 3? That'd been crazy.
One regular wild and then the 2 +4s. So then
Oh, and
he
he threw.
think he gave me
Yeah.
another one after I used the one wild. You know, I would say I feel bad, but the way my history has gone in the series and league, it's just one of them games. I'm sure it'll come back though. The whiplash effect is how that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have
It's
anything for
just a
Toaster.
matter of just doing it right, not messing it up. It's one of those really, some people get overwhelmed when you get hands like this. It's just, I was glad I was able to stay the course on that one.
This is
Definitely,
crazy, man.
that makes
This is
sense on
crazy.
his willingness to play that +4 and keep it in green there, having another couple of +4s in the hip pocket there for the close. Toasty, I guess the only question that I've got there for you is, obviously a bit lopsided there on the ammunition, but we talk about the risk of the return on the +2s and the +4s. You hit him with that +2 to be able to establish the possession, but when he ended up playing that wild to establish it over in green, was there anything you could have done to try and maybe draw it back? We saw you use the number efficiency to get it to red, but he was able to bring it back green again. What was the ammunition looking like in your hand? Anything that you maybe could have possibly done to, I guess in a sense, prolong the inevitable? Had nothing. Okay.
Yeah, Llamas could have finished, but you know what? I get where you're coming with there from Llamas. Maybe just try to spin. You have that monster hand. Like you said, you just don't want to overwhelm yourself. Don't try another turn, and all of a sudden things go haywire. We saw someone today, I think. Might have been the Acosta game. I don't know. That game was crazy, but made a mistake in Game 7 apparently, but somehow found a way to win. So I get it. You want to be cautious. Don't overwhelm yourself. But for Toast, that's a bad break in the sense that you tried the +2, right, and then he gets an extra +4. What are you gonna do? But he already had 2 +4s and a Watts. That's usually unbeatable, man. You can't. You give someone 2 +4s, it's pretty OP. You give someone 3, that's asking for it for sure.
It's kind of
I
interesting
think we're going to
too.
move on.
Vapor threw out the point. I was just looking at this as well. Cody could have ended that game a turn early when he played the first +4 and then played the green 9. He could have easily used the 3 +4s and the 2 +2s to chain to get to that 9 for a finisher. The thing I'm looking at, maybe why he didn't do that, as we know, you can only put in 4 commands here for a chain, and I think what
That's
he
it.
was thinking was, he could break it up certainly, but there's the chance that you end up having Toasty on the other side use a defensive power play, and then that kind of puts Cody in a bit of a box of, have I used up my ammo too much and I don't have a chain to the finish? And on the other side of it too, you don't want to run the risk of maybe typing in too many things and getting caught with an Uno call out. So I understand actually the play there of just doing the double play there with the +4 to kick things off. Unlikely that fourth +4 is going to be on the other side on the return, and then finish it out with the 4-card chain.
Yeah, I think it's.
Well, oh, go
Go
ahead.
for it. No, I was
Oh, I
going to
was gonna
say.
say I had. Oh, sorry, we think too well to identical. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the defensive power play, and like you said, if you make one little mistake in one of the time we've seen it, play red wild +4, and the wild is not spaced right, boom, it's going to play as a regular wild. So I
Yep.
think it's early. Play the cautious game. Don't have the defensive power play and move forward. But we'll see what Cody says. What he's got to say here.
Well, actually, I think Vapor did make a good point. I didn't really realize that I could have maybe finished it, but that green 9 kind of threw me in a wrinkle. I wanted to play the green 9 and just finish it all off with special cards, but I didn't want to take that risk of if he had any more green or anything. So I just felt safe with playing the 1 +4 as we said, and then going from there.
So it's best, safe than sorry, right, Seth? How many times have we seen someone make a stupid mistake and
Oh
it
gosh.
doesn't work out in their favor? They lose the series or lose that game, and it haunts them in like best of 7. So I think playing the smart game, you got the advantage with the with the 3 +4s as power cards. I think it's a good move. And Toast for him, he just shakes it off and see what he can do on the road for sure.
Yeah, we usually every stream we do, we usually have like 6, 7, 8 different points of what you need to do in order to be successful, and probably top of that list is do not make those pivotal mistakes. Well, so far it's been all Cody Llamas. He had a sweep back in the round of 64, looking to do one here in the Thriller 32. He will now be having the homestand here, up 2-0. He talked about the possibility of the pendulum shifting here as he had all the ammo in Game 2. Cody, You can't do 5, can't do 11. What are we looking at here for game number 3?
Let's go with 9.
Yeah, keeping it in that mid-tier. Good there. See what we can do. Well, JT5 action to start us off. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, Seth, now to see if we actually do start getting that WP, that whiplash, as I like to call it. We'll see if we get it as Cody draws. It can shift at any point in the series, so you got to always be wary of that.
Also got to be wary here, too, if you are Toasty,
You
know, up 2-0. I don't know. Does Cody maybe start considering the power play to go up 3-0?
Yeah, it's in there. I think it's definitely in there. We know Llamas is a guy, though. He's crafty with it. He knows how to play smart. He knows how to never beat himself, usually. You just wonder now if you're Cody, is it really going to be a game of just mentality, right? Don't beat yourself. Play this one clean. Do you want the power play early? Do you want to take that 3-0, or do you save it? It's interesting. I think it's going to come down to instincts for him as here comes Toast with a run.
And we saw Cody with the initial draw there on the blue. Don't know if that 6 was a top deck play. A lot of times you may have just that one outlying card in a certain color. And
clean play there, but yeah, he'll get there, right?
But sometimes you might have that one outlying card in a certain color, and you want to maybe try and draw back, find maybe a reverse, a skip to be able to chain to a different color, not leave yourself open. So we'll have to see. We're not going to find out now is the initial over 2 red with that wild from Toasty, and now we'll run in that for a while. But it'll be interesting if we eventually have to go back to blue, if Cody is indeed iced out or not.
In the yellows, Toast fades it. We'll see what Cody's got here. New color. I mean, if he was low in the blue, then this is a pretty good assessment of, you know what, fade it over to the yellow and see if Cody's got anything. He does have a little double. And we'll get him down to 1. Possession. Get my charger in here.
Toasty will continue to run it in the yellow as well.
Nothing from Llamas, so we'll see what Toast has now here. Yeah. I'm interested in why you faded that red, though. I'm interested to play that wild, maybe just try to get a little generation. Let's see.
Yeah, it's the second straight game, right, where we've seen pretty early on in the going somebody utilize a wild to try.
Oh, that's why he did that game.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
That explains it right there. Gets the Uno called.
You should get it right here for sure. Oh my god! Yeah, well, it's been Monster Hand City then.
It has. Gonna end this off in style with wild +4.
Interesting, because that in a way could have. That's the same kind of thing. Could have been a turn earlier.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, he could have definitely ended that one turn earlier. Still works out for him though.
Yeah, I think these guys are just they're getting these really monster hands, and what is this?
Yeah, you got to have the W +4.
Honest to God, you probably could just play Uno, play red wild. It might still register.
There it goes.
Yeah.
I
don't really got much to say on that one, Seth. It's kind of the same thing as game 2. Crazy run, and could have ended one turn. Same meta. I don't think Cody's running the whiplash. I don't really have much to offer there.
I'm
one
looking
wild.
To see. I think that was straight plan A there for Toasty. I don't think he drew a single card. No, he did not. That was straight plan A. Toasty, I mean, we talked about, Cody talked about the whiplash there. It looks like it happened here in game 3. You had the number efficiency to fade it over there to the yellow, establish what you needed to close this out. But kind of going back to what Cody did in that second game, you could have ended this thing a turn early. Kind of lucked out there in case Cody might have had something to draw you back there on that flip side, but yeah, I didn't even register that. But I mean, able to draw this back up now 2-1, able to turn the corner there.
Yeah.
Literally playing A, didn't assume anything could go wrong. Yeah, that sometimes you get that hand, KT, right off the bat, and you're like, you know what? I got this. This is perfect.
Well, it's because Cody drew off the initial get-go, and that's the thing. It's that initial draw. It really depends on the draw. When you draw it well, and you see that initial draw, then you can really be confident he doesn't have anything. Or I don't really have anything for Cody. I mean, Cody, unless you were trying to fade something, I'm going to assume just classic whiplash here. I don't got anything.
Yeah, I had a bunch of 2s, a bunch of 6s, and that's really it. Nothing really more to say. Whiplash, we're all even in Whiplash category, so let's see what the next one is.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think both guys have now had their Plan A wins. Game 1 definitely was more Plan B, C, but this one, definitely the last 2 have been Plan A back and forth seesaw, so we'll see. We'll see what Cody will do here. Because that's interesting, Seth. Now it's 3-0 for the road team.
Well,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, nobody has yet won on their homestand. Toasty says about to
Okay.
get up and make coffee, so it might be a bit slow. While he's doing that, if I could just ask Cody a quick question here too, because I am curious about the start there. Were you iced out on blue initially there, Cody, and was that 6 a top deck draw?
I had 2 blue 2s, and I don't know, I could have probably stuck with the 2s and maybe swapped to, I believe it was a red 2, but I just kind of wanted to see what I would get, because I really didn't have any link after that. So, but I got the blue 6.
Yeah, well, magic off the top. And if it wouldn't matter, Seth, because if he goes to red, then let's face it, he runs those blue
He went right into
red.
what Toasty needed, yeah.
Ironically, I don't think Toasty played a single green. Oh, wow.
No, he did not. Had no green whatsoever.
Yeah, classic. I think they're even now. I think we got the whiplash out hopefully out of the way now. It's okay, an eye for an eye. Now we'll see what the last 4 games produce. Well, at least the next game, and then we'll see if we get to that game 6 or 7. But it's interesting for sure because both guys have seen different metas in their career. This is a meta that we have known from T5 2024 where the whiplash will happen. You get a monster hand, and then, okay, it's an eye for an eye, and then sometimes it can continue, or sometimes this is it stops, and then we find something completely different. So the bot has a way to find the old number for both players. It's just going to come down to when we get to those Plan B, C games like Game 1, who will have the edge, because that's where we're going to start to find the gravy for sure.
Also has a way of being able to shift momentum, it seems, numerous times during the course of a series. But Cody still now goes into his second homestand of this series, still up 2-0. See if Toasty can draw it back even, or if Cody can take a commanding 3-1 lead. Cody, still only 5-11 off the board. What are we doing here for Game 4?
We'll go to 12.
Go to 12 pass. That's a little upper, so that's first time we hit that shot right there.
Yep.
And, good start.
Yeah, look at that. Right off the start.
Reversed it.
Got the reverse. See if Cody does anything with this or decides to just cap it off.
Yeah, he'll just play it clean. Yep. Well, I mean, that's what you expect on a 12er. You have a little bit more time now. Right, we saw the 11 card, but that was kind of a cracked shell. So now this is the first time up there into that higher range. This will have 0 sugar to start. Of course, I normally joke that you can't really switch off 0 good move, but at this rate, the way these guys do it, it's never safe.
Well, we had a game yesterday where they swapped 3 times on the 0, so it is possible.
So no one's safe out here when it comes to any card, man. It's the beauty of this league. Back in the day, you play a 0, you're really safe. You really are safe. Now you're not. So here's a pluser. Just okay, classic 1-2.
Yep.
That's a Caesar jab. Nothing wrong there. We'll see what Cody does here. Obviously, now it's really going to be at the established possession here as he'll go for a classic, just play cool. And Toast will play cool as well.
Oh, we've been in yellow for quite a while here to kick this thing off, and there it is, right on cue. There's the light switch over into the blue.
Yeah, we'll see what it'll be from Toast here. Into the blue now, new color. Llamas got 2 freshies off that pluser. We'll see what he gets in return. As Toast will play the blue 9. And he'll go to red now. So there's the efficiency fade. All right, so that's Tripp's colors now, just missing the green.
Toasty said he was going to make coffee. We were only in blue for a cup of coffee there. Maybe just a sip of coffee. And now...
Well, there we go. Tripp's 9. There's the green.
Yeah. Immediately out of the red into the green there. Again, like we saw back in the second and third game, but we saw the utilization of the wilds to do so, trying to get that color control here.
Yeah, I think Llamas is going to start to sense something here. It's like, okay, you want to roll like this. You wonder if... you start to wonder if there's going to be something up the sleeve, but into this green, we'll see what Cody will move here as Toasty's little fun comment. He'll go for the classic pluser. Okay.
All right, so we touched green grass, but I guess we went to Kentucky because now we're in bluegrass.
Yeah, old bluegrass state, right? Grab your Toyota, grab your horses.
We've seen
See how
Cody
it'll be for.
numerous times use that +4 to be able to establish the color control. He did it in Game 2, and he also did it in Game 3. And
Oh,
Toasty answers right back with a wild of his own.
yeah. Yeah, good. Well, but you know what, though, Seth? At that point, that's a win for Cody and a win for Toasty.
Yeah.
Toasty made the break to get to that green. Okay, Toasty flushes Cody's +4. Cody maybe flushed a possible finish on that whatever green he was aiming to be. So I think it's a split win for both. They're doing a good job fading off each other. It's going to come down to when we get to that color progression that we were touched earlier, the red or the yellow where we faded. That'll be a key, I think.
You'd have to consider the probability that wild he used there to ice Cody out on green probably was on the return of that +4.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good return. I think both guys now understand what's going on here. They both understand the assignment of, okay, it's going to be a fade game. It's going to be a little bit aggressive. Who wants to be aggressive first? And we'll see who can pop it off at the end. Here comes Toast. Makes the green break. Let's see. Plays it cool. See what Cody will throw here.
It's interesting, too, because we talk about how no two games are alike, and a lot of times the play
That's
style
true.
can change as the games progress as
Back
well.
to blue.
Yep, back into blue. When
Yep.
Cody played that +4, it kind of put me in mind of back at the conclusion of Game 2 where he had the other +4, so he felt comfortable playing one right then and there. I don't know if that was the case here in this one. It seemed like pretty early on here we weren't down anywhere close to that end zone on either side, so I wonder if that was more about possession control than anything.
Yeah, possibly. As we'll go to the blue here, as Toasty will be able to fade that. And that's the thing with this is when you fade a color, you got to make sure you know what you're doing. That's the beauty of this game. You got to make sure you know what you're doing and clean cut the efficiency, because Toasty goes to that blue, he gets the save, he wants the green. Now the question is how many more X amount of cards in blues Toast have, whereas Cody's banking, okay, maybe he'll have one or two, but will he run out? And then we'll go to another progression because red and yellow's still out there, and that's the thing.
Cody was very good as well in those two early games and the number of efficiencies, so he's got to be, possibly holding on to something, maybe in blue, if indeed Toasty tries to bring it back to green. This might be the wraparound to green right here, or does he try to go to a different color?
We'll see. Oh my God, reverse skip meta out the wazoo. This will be the wraparound here, Seth. We'll see.
Is this possibly a finish? We can't take anything for granted. This could be a six-bagger finish. Or does he just bring it to check?
It's either a six-bagger or it's just a check, yeah.
Cody with the call out, but Toasty right now only at 2 cards.
Oh, that is what is that is reverse skip meta out the wazoo, man.
Wow.
This game is on. That is insane.
My gosh!
It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered for Llamas if you +4. Is that another one where he could have finished it off? No, I don't think so. I think that was maybe. I don't even know.
Maybe he might have been able to. Let's see. Could he have gotten it back to the reverse? Yeah. He could have finished on a blue reverse. Just established the color of red and green with the wild +4, and then he had reverse. What was it? Reverse skip in blue.
Yeah,
so he definitely could have brought it around to that. Was it a blue 9 to finish it off one turn early?
Yeah, I don't really have much of a thing there. I mean, it's unfortunately, Seth, it's been a case of today where the flexing has been the number one thing. I don't know. Unless Toasty, unless you got something measured off those +4s. I don't know. If you got something, then again, the only thing I could see major would have been maybe another +4 or just the regular reverse meta. I don't really see much there.
So burning all of his numbers first would have left him safe to win if he did get power played. I mean, that does make sense. That does make sense there. I mean, you got to consider as well. Toasty has said that he's not really a person that's able to do like the chains and everything. We see him for the most part do one play at a time. So, when you talk about that style of play as well, maybe a little bit of a period of adaptation there in his style of play, making sure as he's doing these one at a time, he wants to make sure that he doesn't leave himself susceptible to Cody throwing out that defensive power play. So, while we're talking about in these last 2 games, he could have finished it a turn early, you consider the fact here that defensive power play is out there and he does the one command at a time. That explains as well why we haven't seen him do it here in these back-to-back games.
Right.
And he says it's happened to him before, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's all been the road. I don't really have much to say. So it's been it's been after game one, it's been a lot of Plan A, and that's interesting when you have those Plan A games. Is when is it going to get to that back to the game one meta where we saw Plan B through A? That's the B through Z. I don't know right now if it's going to be more of a flex. It's going to come down to run timing, and with run timing, that's all about usually possession. But to this case, unless Toasty got some more reverses and skips off those +4s, these have just been monster hands by the bot really today. The bot has been throwing these monsters, and it's me a plan. The bot is throwing these monster hands, so I wonder how both players that. Cody, I don't really have a question, man. Unless you had another +4 or something in the back pocket, I'm just assuming you throw that there. And it was a good read because, God forbid, you don't throw it, then he's got the back end. So I don't know. What could you have maybe done a little bit more? It's a little interesting today.
Had a lot of blues, 6s and 7s, but
okay.
I have a feeling, I think I know where I could have maybe did a defensive power play to take control and more than likely win the game with number efficiency now that I look at it. But that's for yesteryears. We're all tied up and back to work.
All right.
And Toast, the thing I would ask you here is, I commented.
Monster pickup, yeah.
I commented on the fact it kind of seemed a little bit early that we saw Cody hit you with that +4. Neither of you down near that end zone there. How much of what we saw there in that closeout with the reverses, the skips, that +4, how much ended up being part of that return?
Well, if he's saying it's a monster pickup, then that means that's where he got either the reverses or the +4.
Green, red, reverses, and the what? That's gracious.
Goodness Christ.
So 3 out of the 4 that we saw there in that finish on that return. Oh, okay, so hold on, not the wild +4. The wild that we saw him use to ice out Cody, bring it over back to green. Okay. And then he had the +4 in reserve. But you mentioned it, KT, about, with what we've seen here in these last 3 games, and when do we eventually bring it back there to what we saw back in game 1 with the number efficiency. And I think if we end up having that even here as soon as game 5, the fact that both of these players tied up still have the power play available, I think that's going to be crucial if we get into that type of a game here.
Yeah, I mean, both guys have been through the ringer. They both have played 6, 7, 8, 9, even game series in the past, right? We've seen both guys make multiple Sweet 16s and these bigger rounds. So it's definitely a intriguing point. I think both have went. I think the last time Cody was in this last round, I remember the situation was Andy. I believe it was 2-2. He used the power play to get the game 5 winner. I think Manny made the comeback. Toast, I didn't watch the game much with Steven, but he just kind of had his number. I'm interested to see how it'll be in this one because now they both have the power play. Who wants to lead, who wants to win without it. I'm going to be genuinely curious. It's going to be an interesting show for sure. See what they can do for sure.
Well, we are drawing up 2-2. Homestand goes back to Toasty now after winning the last 2 games. Toasty, no 9, no 12. What are we looking at here for the tiebreaker game 5? Oh, you may have preempted it one homestand too early. There it is, KT. Now we're going full send.
Well, that's what I expect. You got to expect a sender at some point. So now both guys are going to be cracked to the whip on a 50. And okay, I'll send. Okay, Monkey just shifting me for a second. We'll see. There's the sender, so we'll see. Now both guys are going to be adjusting to the highest start they've seen today, and we've been to the mid, we've been to the max now. We'll see who has a good fade and good return. We'll see.
And in the mid, we saw those monster finishes in games 2 through 4. Do we see something like that here? Potentially a lot more ammo to work with, maybe on both sides. And yeah, wow, initially off the yellow into the red. Interesting.
Fast fade from Toast. I'm interested on that fade,
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can get away with that in the sense that you have nothing. Or sometimes you have a chance to really confuse your opponent off the camouflage with 15. We'll see.
Yeah, lower mid-card start makes sense. But at a 15-card start, that initial fade, that's a unique one.
We've seen it before, but sometimes it's interesting to see on the back end. It's funny here, said we don't have a win yet at home. It's been Road Warriors. Apparently, the game today happened. There was all road wins except the last game, so that's interesting. If we do go 7, Cards choices matter, but this one's been weird because it's been straight whippers. It's been whiplashes, and no one's really been able to play the skill game since game one. It's been more just
great
playing
point.
A's. So I don't know who's going to have the advantage. I mean, Cody sure won that five Carter, but that was plan B, C on a 5. That's a ditto. Okay. Haven't seen that much.
Seen a couple of self-dittos, but not a ditto on each other.
It's kind of funny that ice cream truck's outside my house and Monkey's pulling up here. That's funny. But we'll keep it going. But we'll see how it goes now as both guys will run into this red, continuing on that after the initial switch, the initial fade.
Going to continue to run here in the red, so both apparently, now there's the swap over to the blue. I was going to say, both hands with quite a bit of red there. Cody was more than willing to have that light switch on the initial. And this, okay, so Toasty brings it now back to the yellow. So he initiated the light switch off the yellow at the beginning, and Cody's iced out in the yellow. Wow.
It's either he's iced or he's testing him here. Let's see.
Yeah, so this is interesting. If Cody is iced out, if Toasty had run yellow at the beginning, how long could Toasty have run and drawn Cody back? That's,
It gave Cody some life, though. You're right.
Yeah,
that's unless it's just one of those famous toppers, throw a topper, see where we're at off that first initial draw. We'll see. Well, that's the reason why I think he was just waiting for the connector. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't, and that's the thing, right, Seth? You don't know. These guys are really good at camo in the looks, and now Toasty guys got all the hard work to do again with that triple play as we go into the last color, green. Why is the score? I don't know what's happening, man.
Toasty.
Seth, let me fix this board. Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's
good.
going on.
Toasty with the red wild brings it back to red. Cody was the one that got it off of red with the blue 8 swap. And looks like we're going to run in red for a while again here. Cody did have some red in reserve. And now Cody brings it right back to blue again.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I don't understand. There's been some issues lately with the cords, so I don't know. Maybe the stream bug, the bugger, the score bugger may have just glitched. I have no idea. Green now?
Ooh.
I don't know where we're at here, Seth. We're just going all over the rainbow.
Wait.
Back to blue?
I'm trying to figure this one out because we were on green. Toasty used a wild to get it to red, and then he brings it back to green again. What?
I'm as lost as you are, man.
I am. Yeah, you talked about how these two have done good with the camouflaging. I mean, Cody obviously has had the numbers to get it back to blue off of red and now off of green, but that play there, the fade off of yellow at the initial start, the wild to get to red but still having green in reserve there by Toasty, this is one that's very difficult for me to be able to read right now.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can read that one. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the plan is here. This is weird. There's a pluser.
Brings it back to green again.
Oh, this might be the reason why he read. It might be a monster here.
A finisher again.
That's why. Well, if it's a fit, it's got to be.
Oh, Cody with the power play.
Gonna keep it in. That's a big power play.
That's huge.
You know, we don't see that ever, a defensive power play, but that's going to change the game because now Toast doesn't have this win, and now Llamas may have saved the game.
May have saved the series. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, humongous turn of events. This is the Andy. Andy did this to him. I mean, Andy did this to him, what was it, in round 1, T2, and he lost the series. He won the series on that in this game 5, but that was a game 7. Or 6, excuse me. So this is an old school move that Llamas has seen before. Toast, I'm going to assume had it right there. Oh, this is a crack show now. This is insane.
I mean, there's a blue
plus
plus 2. You have to assume that might have been the chain off of the green plus 2 before the defensive power play. was probably looking to end in blue, and now he'll use the wild to bring it over to red. Again, uses the wild to get it over to red.
That might have been his last wild, though.
It could have been his last card, maybe.
This is a confusing game now, man.
We saw Vapor say defensive power play question mark. I don't know. With the last 3 games, I started thinking more and more that these power plays they had available, they were going to probably have to be used defensively.
Oh, man, I don't know where we're at, Seth. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Open on a skip, open on reverse. Cody, a little top deck draw there.
These guys listen, they're throwing caution to the wind. I get it, because you don't want to go down 3-2 and lose. It's a morale thing. You lose like that, that's tough. So I get where he's coming from with the power play. That's a great power play. Now you can try to establish some possession. Toast has been lacking in the blue, so I get. But the thing is, we're just fading these 2 colors. I'm just genuinely curious what they have now in store, because we just have a complete resetter. Looking at the CH, though, there is no more blue +2, so that's the one color. And green. There's no green +2s or blue +2, so it's a safe bet. Crazy game, Seth. I mean, you got to expect these two. These two are always known for crazy plays, always known for crack shows. Cody, there's no 2 games of the same, no 2 series. Toasty is a crackhead. This is what you want in a series, though. These unexpected plays to really get the audience guessing.
I mean,
sure.
what did Toasty say at the very initial start of this series? It says, we're going to go crazy. Now, we saw crazy finishes in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th game based on the ammunition given, but in this one, I think we've turned up the crazy dial to, I think we've turned it up to maybe 11.
11, yeah. We turned it up to 11. Cody's still with the lead by a possession or 2, depending if he plays. I mean, blues, you're looking at this, you look at the CH, there's not much left in blues. Ironically, we're juiced on the 5s, the 7s, the 8s, the 6s. Pretty everything but the 9s and the 0s are juiced on the blues, so I don't even know what else you'd have here. There's the 4. Yeah, there's not much left in blue. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. That's another... but
Cody finds the light switch.
But once again, Seth, there's no pluses coming that way. That's another color. Yeah. There's no pluses. So this is another neutralizer here. For sure. We'll see what Toast will do here. Cody, confident in the green. Let's see.
Right now, Toasty with the possession advantage by 1. He's got the preemptive play over Cody with us being tied at 5.
Cody definitely changed the momentum with that the power play, for sure. Toast is going to have to adapt. I mean, now just the question is, what does each player get off those crazy shows? Because that's really all I can think of here. Yellow, 0 sugar.
That's the thing, too, right? Cody got hit with those multiple +2s, so he may have gotten some good cards on that drawback. A lot of ammunition used up by Toasty that he can't use now down this home stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the beauty of the defensive power play. It's a resetter, so now Cody can get whatever he wants in this back pocket. Let's see. Yellow deuce. But both guys, because, well, Cody threw the +6 and then Toasty threw the monster play. So really it's just going to come down to who has the monster number of fish at the end here, for sure.
This might be the color we're ending in here, KT, because I just looked back. Well, never mind. Never mind. I was going to say, that was the first time we'd been in yellow all game, right then and there.
What does Llamas have?
Does Cody have
green wild from Toast. I mean, Cody have a finisher? This would be something. Well, you got to think now. It could be, because think about it. We saw what happened with that defensive power play. Before that power play, Cody got everything. So
and he did the defensive power play on green. Let's remember that as well. It was a green +2 that was played when Cody did the defensive power play.
It's a regular deuce.
Toast made the initial swap over to green. Does he have a finish here? Looking to go up 3-2. There it is. There it is.
That's crazy, man, because that means
nuts.
Even when Toast got the return of whatever that was in the back end. Oh no!
Oh my gosh! They both have +4s.
Well, at that rate, it comes down to who plays it first, right? There's
exactly.
That's just a run to the finish.
Like Cody obviously didn't have the power play, used it defensively
No.
there, so he couldn't call on that. And all the way down that home stretch there when we were running in yellow, the possession advantage was in Toasty's corner.
Yeah, I mean, Cody, I think the defensive power play had to be played there because he had the win.
Oh, yeah.
Right, you look at that, I think he snuffed it out. He just got beat to the punch. I mean, the only thing I guess you could have done maybe to spice it up is you play the, what is it, the 6 and then the 0 at the end, but hindsight's 2020, so you had a wild as well. You didn't have that wild kicker. Talk to me about that mindset. Oh, you stopped something massive, man. That is an insane hand.
Hey, KT, if you could ask the
Oh,
questions
yeah.
here just in this round real quickly, I got to take care of something real quick.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, go ahead, Klaus.
Well, no, I mean, geez, I said the word whiplash, and it looks like I'm getting it all slapped in the face these last couple games. Yeah, I felt pretty confident playing the defensive power play because when I say I have a lot of twos, I had a lot of twos and a lot of sixes,
Right.
and then I had the +4 from when I did the defensive power play as well. So I felt pretty confident in being able to kind of number efficiency finish if you didn't have that wild. Yeah, beat me to the punch. That's really it. I was debating on playing the +4 and keeping the game going. Maybe see if I could draw something out, but went for the risk that way. But I don't think it really would have mattered either way, like you said.
Nah, you had an extra wild. It was a good sniff, though. Toast, I mean, you have a crazy hand like that. Cody read that absolutely right. I mean, where did you get off that? Yeah, absolutely. It's just, there's no reverse, and yeah, no reverse. It's just perfect. You had a perfect. You had poker hand. You have 1s8 combos. You got a backdoor wild whenever, a +2. Talk to me through about how you had to readjust, though, when you got off that defensive power play, because that changed the game. Did you have something more to take? Because obviously he flushed your 1+4 when you went for the break, and then he what was it? I think he in a way flushed your other wild because you went for that red wild. So talk me through that. That was crazy. I don't even know. That was good from both sides because both guys basically had the same finish. It just came out on a power play. And I paid for Philly back to halfway. Okay. So I had some ammo, but I had to start all over. Okay. So I was just getting the cards down. Okay, so it was a case of just getting the cards down, and ultimately I'm thinking the red may have saved you because if you don't do those reds, yeah, the red saved you because that was it caused you and Cody to go off a skip reverse draw right, and that puts you in a better position to go for a more aggressive play with that one extra wild in the back pot. Now, did you get a wild off a topper during that sequence, or did you get that off the massive whiplash with a +2 into a power? Okay, massive whiplash. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. I know Seth's busy, but that makes sense then because if both guys basically had efficiency out the wazoo, it's going to come down to what you have in the back end. And unfortunately for Llamas, he had the run, right? So he makes the break on the defense. Toast goes for it, but when you have double +4, the only thing you really could do is try to play the +4. Maybe you do a +4 into a 6, right? And then you hope for it because, let's face it, the only thing Cody really had going for him there would have been that move. And it's funny because if Toast really doesn't think about that wild, then it comes down to who goes back to the end. So, I think it need to throw a spanner. Yeah, I think it was just evenly played. Both guys had it. They got what they wanted. It came down to the end of the point of who can go for the back end. So we'll see how it goes in Game 6. I know Seth's busy, so we'll wait for him. But Cody, your call, buddy. While we wait, what are we looking for here for this one? It won't be no 9-5. Everything else is, or not 5-11. Everything else is free.
I think we'll go with 10.
We'll go 10. Okay, yeah, we'll do 10. I'll call it if he has to. I know Seth's a little busy. No worries. That's the beauty part of it, man. I'm always good for a nice review. So we'll see if Cody can get this into Game 7 Toast. Looking to finish it off here in 6. Reminder, next game will be 4:30ish. We'll probably be delayed because we're late on this one, but we'll get that game going pretty soon. That'll be Seth with me. That'll be Vapor and Ed, of course. Blue 1 down this time from Llamas. Here comes Toast. See, Toast, well, he's just going to ditto it, so there you go. Cody plays it cool. Comes Toast. Plays a blue 2 now. So they're both in the blues, running it clean. And Llamas draws early. See what Toast will do here. And he'll play a clean blue 3. Okay. See what Cody will have right here. Does he have a switch or does he go for a broker here? Let's see. Cody looking for something off the top. Let's see what he gets. +2 draw, so he's going to throw the hammer. Okay. So ties the game back up. See what Toasty will have here. So Llama's going to play a little bit of a hammer shot right there. And I'll play a blue 0 sugar from Toast just to ice it clean. Let's see what Cody gets off the draw. Into this game 6. Nothing from Cody. Here comes Toast. Does he have a switch or does he want to go for something aggressive? And you got to wonder here now, is if you go for the switch, do you have a finisher? Do you have a back-end move or do you want to stick to the colors? We're really looking at the CH on this blue. Let me see here. That's all we've seen. We've seen 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7. So there we go. Second color. And the second color in the green now. Blue's getting a little washed. See what Toast will do here. +2 from Toast. Classic +2 in a vapor, so a little bit of a splitter right there, splitter amber. That's what I call it, split ammo. Interesting is Toast could have +2'd Cody on the opener, but does not, so he decides to lay back as green 4, a little 77 appears. Plays it cool, yeah, I got you. Back to blue, so that is intriguing from Toast. What will Cody have right here? Into red, so he's going to spice it up a little. With the undercut. Oh, so they both had a red 4. Let's see what Llamas will have here. Plays the red 7. Ditto play into the 7. Toast is drawn, so here comes Cody.
All right, I'm back. I apologize for that, KT.
I took it like a pro, man. They're both going to draw. You haven't missed much. You still good for 4:30? Or well,
yes,
probably
sir.
not 4:30 now. Okay, it'll probably be a little later now because we're running behind.
Okay.
Red 8 now from Toast. Yeah, you're good. You basically Toaster as we go for red 2. You didn't miss much. They both were just playing their usual colors here. Nothing crazy. As they're drawing in Draw City for now. Oh, I'm Stu here. I'm interested because red deuce, right, off the top. You think Draw City is the safe play? Yeah, I think it's going to be the safe play here. Yep, Draw City, just play cool. See where you go from there.
Yeah, and obviously as well with Toasty having the power play available here up 3-2, it's something that Cody's got to be aware of also in terms of what he plays here. He doesn't want to give Toasty that potential link that he needs.
You're at a 3 there from Toast as a topper. And no one wants to switch it now because if you switch it, you start to figure, you fear what's going to go in the back end. So they're just content to run these reds and I guess count the scoreboard on the reds because look at this 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. We're just banking on these numbers. Okay, who's going to want to go to that next progression first? That's not yellow though, so that's back to green. That's where Toasty threw the +2 and did the switch. And he's out. See? Okay. And Llama will go for the green 1. Toast iced again. Llama's green 8. Tie game now.
Trying to continue with that number efficiency, establish possession. I mean, that's one thing Cody's got to do here in this scenario is you have to have the possession.
Yeah, that's the key. Establish possession and go from there. That's the beauty part of this game. He'll play green 5. What will Cody have here? We've seen this spot so many times, man. It's such a juxtaposition in this game where as we go for a draw here, when do you want to make the break on that color? And that's going to be the key when you have one door opener on the color. When do you make the break? Because that's just a classic green 8. Nothing really Toasty's going to fear there. These are all toppers, right? They're just
They are.
toppers, and you just behind the toppers. Nothing really that he's going to go back to blue,
Breaks it
which is
out.
what Cody was. Yeah, but once again, no yellow, so we're just fearing this one color. It's interesting.
And with that light
Cody
switch,
can run.
Toasty establishes the possession again. And we saw that just that one preemptive possession be the difference maker at the close of Game 5.
Yeah, this is a weird one, though, because, like I said, there's still that one color lurking, so I don't know who wants to make the break to go to it. That's going to be the key. See what Toast will do here. Nothing. So there's Cody again on the blues. He can run him again if he wants. And he doesn't. So, yeah. Yellow's lurking now, Seth. It's got to be, right? Because that's all we've been missing. It's the missing link.
What I'll have to do, I'll just cancel it and I'll go right to Amsterdam and order it there. No, we're having some problems getting it through.
We got Toasty here with maybe is
Goes to
this
red.
a finish? We didn't see a power play done. I feel like there would have been a power play if he had a finish here.
Yeah. No, it's not a
Okay.
finish. No.
Yeah, it caps it off here.
So here comes what does Llamas have in the back end now? Because I'm interested. Because we don't have a yellow play.
No.
We're just dancing around this one color.
There's no way that we have no yellow on either hand, right?
I've seen stranger things in the spot. That would be one of the strangest things about, especially on a upper tier start like this. It's very rare. 20 cards dish, no single yellows.
Oh, Cody iced out on the red.
This would be just something. They have but they're both iced.
Both
So
iced
I
out
don't
on
know.
the red. Man.
I'm lost, man. This is crazy.
I am
We
too.
have seen some stranger things in this league. This would be the strangest one. There's the yellow. Well, there we go.
Risky, but he did play the +2, so he gets the possession here. But does Toasty have an answer? What could he have been holding in yellow?
Skip.
No power play, so unlikely this is a finish.
Double play.
Then again, though, if he has the change at the end, he doesn't have to do the power play because
Yeah,
Cody
I was
has no
just gonna say he
defensive power
doesn't
play
have
to
to.
use.
It's either a finish or it's going to be I think that it's either a finish or he gets
It's
the check.
check.
Well, unless Cody has a +4 here or something, we'll see. +2 is still available.
Potentially as well, yeah.
Nothing.
No, iced out. Is this it? Is this
That
the
game?
series?
Well,
no,
he's in power
it's
play though.
not.
Is he in power? So this is bizarre. We've only seen really that. Yeah, he only had one yellow. What is going on? And the +4.
Back into
I'm
the
lost,
yellow
Seth.
again.
I don't know, man. This has been freaky. This has been a freak show. I don't even know where to begin.
Did Cody have all the yellows? Was he hoarding them all or something? Because Toasty's not played any of them.
Topper? I mean, was that a topper? I don't know. God, ice goes to blue.
Goes into the blue, takes Cody away from the yellow again. Does that ice Cody out?
So you have a 9? No, that's the only thing I could think of. A 9 would have been saved.
So Cody is iced on blue. He's iced on green.
Toast is iced on blue too, though.
Man. So what are we looking for here? Is Toasty looking for green, maybe?
I'm lost.
Cody is clearly looking for the yellow, but Toasty's done the light switches off of yellow.
Green, we read it. Yeah.
Toasty was iced out on green earlier too. Now he's got the green 9, which I'm wondering if that might have been from the draw 4 return. But he was iced out on green earlier.
Llamas has no green though, just the reverse. Is Toast just not having a connector? I don't know,
could
man.
be. I mean, he's been down to check twice.
This is one of the most confusing games I've ever commentated. I don't know where the battle lines are. I don't know where the Toast. So now Llamas gets a topper, I'm assuming. Let me see the CH. Toast has no green.
And now we're both
The
iced on
problem is
green. We're iced
the
on green
problem
again.
is the green and blue numbers are juiced. That's the problem. There's
Yeah.
nothing really left. That's the issue.
And they both, surprisingly enough, as well, were iced out on red not too long ago.
So where do we? This is a head scratcher. I don't know. Yellow. We think Cody has the yellows.
Oh, he's tried to get to it twice, now
Yeah,
3
there it
times
is.
with the wilds. He did it with 2 wilds, and he's done it with a wild +4. So that much we know. He wants the yellows. Is Toasty just trying to be defensive here, not giving Cody the opportunity to play those yellows and then icing them both again? Or does he actually have yellows that he can play?
Man. This is bizarre. I like I said, I've been around the block. I've never seen something like this where we don't have a single. It's either we don't have a connector or we're just hoarding one color to the end. And I don't even know if Toast even had a color in yellow. He didn't seem to have it.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing, right? Every time we've gotten
he's gonna power play.
power
Is this it?
play with 7 cards.
Okay.
Defensively played. In case
No,
Cody
it's
had a
defensive.
finisher here. Oh, to get it over to blue. To ice Cody
Yeah,
out
but it's-
again.
Yeah, there's just been no momentum at all.
No.
So just oh, he got it back.
Brings it back. Wow.
That was ice cold from both parties.
And that negates the power play.
Well, we're done with power plays. We're iced on that. That is a crossover and a half.
Yeah, as
What
Vapor
does
says,
Cody
that's
have in
that's
the
an
yellow?
ankle breaker right there.
Yellow zero sugar. What does Cody have? 6 yellow. Okay.
I mean, look at the scenario we've got possibly here. If Cody's able to continue to run in yellow, if Toasty can't get it off yellow and Cody has a finisher, we're going into a Game 7 with no power play on either side.
We're going to find out now. Let's see if Llamas makes a break here. Let's see. No, he just has the yellow 6s. Toast has nothing either.
Iced
This
out.
is strange, man. This is strange. I feel like we're playing Ring Around the Rosie. I don't know what the pocket full of Posey is on. This is just strange. I've seen some crazier moves. This is a strange one.
This could be the closer
Here comes
right
Cody.
here. I mean, we're down in the
He is
end zone.
closer?
We're in the color Cody's been wanting for like the last 10 minutes. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest games I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I'm not even sure if any guy had a read. I don't know if there was a connector we were waiting for.
If they did, they were the only ones, because I didn't have a clue.
Cody, normally I have really good questions, man. What was that game? Because every single color you draw city. I don't. And Toasty's same question. You draw city. Oh man, low connector. But Cody, take me through that game because that was insane. I don't even know what to explain there.
That
What
was
was that?
stressful because no lie, I literally only started with a wild and maybe like one reverse, I think, early on, and I had no confidence in any of my hand. Couldn't do anything. I couldn't, like you guys were saying, I couldn't go to yellow because I feared that I didn't have enough to battle him. I just had numbers in yellow.
Right.
I just could not take that chance of going to yellow and risking him, having something really good in that yellow during that time period. And then in the end, it worked out with some of the tactical draws that I was able to do. I got the wild, which really freed me up after the +4 I had a little earlier off the draws. And it was just a matter of hoping I could wind down the numbers and get to the finish. But that was, yeah. And I'm glad that I had the 8s. I had a lot of 8s and I had a lot of 6s in yellows, so I was able to fight off that power play that he did there.
Seth, go ahead and ask a question.
I was going to ask. Toasty actually
This is
preempted me. He answered exactly the question I was going to ask him, and in regards to what we saw with that defensive power play, he looked like, in everything he was doing with the light switches, eventually the power play, like he was trying to keep Cody out of yellow, and he answered it right there before I even got a chance to ask him. Said thought that the yellow was loaded, which is why he tried so hard to stay out of it, and that's maybe the only read that there was, maybe for this entire game, was basically Toasty noticing that Cody was continually trying to hammer home, I want to get to the yellow, I want to get to the yellow, I'm going to use my wild, I'm going to use my wild +4, I'm going to use my wild again. And basically Toasty did everything in his power there to make sure that he didn't allow Cody to be in that particular color. We saw that Toasty, after he used the defensive power play, he was able to run in yellow. He could have played yellow cards, but he didn't want to give Cody that opportunity to draw it back, have the possession of the color that he wanted there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pez. This is just a strange game, man. It was just hard to follow because I think it make the only thing I can look at I can finish in the same color for you. So I get the defensive power play, try the icer, but then Cody had that crossover back with the blade, and then,
kind of the same deal of what he was able to do back in game 5.
Right. So what I read from that is both guys had to go to a plan CD because we saw every single color had a small or a big draw city. So you think it's a low ammo game. Okay, so there's a number efficiency. The question is who was hoarding that? Yeah, I kept saying that. It was Cody, but even then it wasn't really a +2. It wasn't until to the end there, it wasn't anything special. It was just small reads on it. I don't know. That was crazy. I don't know.
That was definitely crazy. But man, it draws us into a game 7. Picked a terrible red reverse.
Yeah, but if you red reverse it and leave it open, then who's to say, right?
Yeah.
Do you lose that connector? That's nitpicking. I don't think we can nitpick, especially when there's so many. So either. When there's so many lack of connectors for both parties, you really can't nitpick this game. Cody went to push the pace. You pushed the pace. These guys got balls of steel. But I think Vapor said it best. These guys got some massive cojones down there because we have seen everything and anything, and they both have done a good job so far. And ironically, we won't see a full send because we lost the 15. So
that's right.
Or we're going to have to pick some, we'll just maybe a little lower. So, crazy game. Ed, we're still in this game. Give me a second. Who's the ref in that 4:30? Give me a minute, Seth. I got to find out. Let me just check.
All right, just let everybody that's watching know we're going into a crucial Game 7 here, the rubber match, if you will. Final homestand for Toaster Guy. If you're going to be tuning in here for our 4:30 Soda region with Vapor versus Ed, that's going to be coming up after this, but we're going to have to push that back just a little bit as this Game 6 was off the rails, and it now sets the table for what should be a cinematic masterpiece here in this final Game 7. As Vapor says, no power play either on either side. So it is basically just you got what you got, what you have, bring it to the table, leave it on the table, whatever the case may be. Toasty, you got the final homestand here, the final call here in this series. What are we ending this Game 7 on, my friend?
These guys always, man, we talk about Cody Llamas every time he's on his stream, puts on his show. Toaster Guy, usually on him on his stream, puts on it. We knew what this was going to be. The first 4 games was just all Plan A City, and then, 3 out of the first 4. And then Game 5 was just a crazy defensive power play, and then whatever that was, it's been a strange one. Who knows what we'll see in this next game? I'm at a loss for words. I don't know. It confused me, that's for sure.
And on both sides, we talk about the inability to be able to get a read. Both defensive power plays utilized in a game that the person that was used against ended up still winning. So kind of negated on both sides.
Yeah. Double OG. Let's end it basically at the double. Let's end it on the right way. He knows how to end it. He don't got the balls, and it's going to be for the fans moment here on the 14. Here we go. Jesse Turner starts us off. Who's going to establish the PA? Because that's going to be the key to win this game. The possession arrow will be the one thing we'll have to look into.
Can't do the full send. Might as well do one down.
Let's see what will be from Toast.
It's observation time. We're looking everything over here. We don't have that link to be able to connect the broken chain up here with the power play. So now you really got to start to have the wheels turning.
Yeah, it's all house money as we ditto the bot.
Ditto.
Just the way we like it around here, right? We've seen everything today, Seth. Let's just hope we have something where we can read the game, because that last game blew my brain off. I don't know. It was crazy. Blue 9's a start, playing clean on the blue. Llamas into the red. I think you're just going to see a lot of running it, right? It's early. You don't want to screw around. It's still early.
A lot of running it, but I think we start getting down towards maybe the 7 to 9 range in cards in our hands. We may end up starting to see the maybe the skips or the reverses come out here, trying to establish the possession. Because with not having the power play, our last 2 games have come down to who had the possession at the end.
Well, there's the switch. There's the lighter. Light it up on the green 7. That's 3 out of the 4 colors. There, once again, I was going to say yellow was missing. There it is. Trip 7. Well, that will end that debate with just 1 color hoarding for now. Never know with these guys, though.
Especially after that last
Cody
game,
will run the yellow.
sure.
Toasty will run the yellow. Roll yin yang. Now we're at the 9s. Into the 2s.
Down into that range where we'll normally see people maybe do that 1-2 punch.
Oh, back to green?
See the
Back
one that
to green
initiated
from
the swap
Cody.
off? No, Cody swapped off of the green to the yellow, so Toasty brings it back. And Cody says, nope,
Flip
we'll
2.
go to blue.
2s and 7s are running wild. Well, blue had, like I said, blue had been that low ball color. We had ran that first, so we didn't see much in the way of anything crazy on the blue.
I don't know, we haven't seen the ammo yet here, KT, but I'm getting vibes of game 1.
Yeah, game 1 was just that was insane because we had to start at 5, and that took a lot more to develop. This one's a little higher. That is a heat check. Wait a minute.
Wait,
He
what?
kept it blue. You think he
Yeah.
messed up? Well,
Oh, we talk about those crucial mistakes. That might have been one.
it's still Llamas' turn. Let's see what he'll do.
Oh, man, in a game 7, no power plays. That could be a turning point right there.
Let's see what Llamas does here. He's going to just not even take the risk.
Wow. Draws him
I mean,
back with the +2, brings it over to the
But we had
green,
just
which
fli-
is
we had
what
just flipped
Toasty wanted initially.
flipped
that
over
might
the
have
green.
been what Toasty played the wild for. Might have been to try and bring it over to green.
Or, well, I was thinking that, or maybe the red, or not the red, the yellow. He had flipped over
Oh,
the yellow.
that's true
But
too.
I don't know. That's interesting. That's hard to switch off too on a 0 sugar, so I don't know what this play is going to be. We apologize for the language, of course. But we'll see. We'll see. This is an interesting play from Cody. We'll see what Toast has here. +4.
Yeah.
So he just that may have, but you know what? That may have saved the game, because think about it. We don't know what that wild would have been.
Well, I think we do.
Who
I think
knows
you
what
read. I think you read it correctly. With that +4 now bringing it over to red, I think that was what the wild was. So I think you had the read
Oh,
right.
hold the phone. Back to green on a wild.
Might have been on the return of that +4.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
that
wait a
ice
minute, I
out
got it.
Toasty?
It's got to be on a return. Here comes Cody.
Yep.
Nothing from Toast. Toast will just run the draw. And now do you want to switch now? That's the thing. Is it risk? The risk of switching is going to become the problem now when you're looking at this from both players' perspective. Because now we're just running into this mistake war from who knows. There's Toast with a clean one. Cody cleaner. Crazy game, Seth. Both guys have... we've only been out here for maybe an hour, but, sometimes when you're out here for longer in your progressions, you got to think about it in the back end. Insane, though. Insane. Both guys have been playing absolutely electric. Let's see what Llamas will have here.
And I'm trying to
power
keep
play,
that.
too.
I'm trying to keep that that wild in the back of my mind here too, as we get down towards the end of this thing. On if that could have been utilized later on here, or at least that +4. I mean, he had to use the +4 because of the mistake with the wild. That +4 could have really helped Toasty out here at the end.
Yellow. Well, we talked about that yellow fade. But Toasty faded it off the yellow. Here comes the reverse. Who is this? That's Tago. Forget it. Here's a blue now. Just Toasted 2?
Or is it a
Pulse
finish?
2?
Is there a finish here?
Or is
Nope.
it check?
It could be check. There's no power play.
Toasty, you never know. Oh, that's game. No, I can't do it. That's
Can't
game.
call
100%.
it out. That's it.
It's just waiting on the yellow. That was it. Oh, wow. Cody, you went for the yellow break, but did you have anything in the back end off the green or no?
I had a lot of 4s. I could either have went to red. I had a +4 in my back pocket with the yellow skip. I was ready to load and go. If I could
Damn.
just got rid of one card, and that would have been it. But he
That was
had to run at the end.
What was the random mistake? What were you trying to do there? No, not you, not you, Toasty.
Me. Okay.
Oh, green. What? That's crazy, Seth. I thought he wanted the red. I thought the reading was right, so he wanted to go green. So Cody, if he wanted to go green, did you have a second thought of maybe just drawing there because of the mistake, or you just still wanted to send it because you feared he had a +4?
I felt pretty confident with my hand. The wild.
Okay.
I had. Hold on, let me look. Where was that at?
Okay.
Yeah, I had Was it when he played the +4? No. Yeah, no, I had Okay,
Yeah.
when he did that is I had yellow 4, red 4, blue reverses +2, green reverse, green 0, wild +4, yellow skip. So I felt like I had the chain to finish. Once I played those 4 cards, I ended up coming out of it with a wild +4, yellow 4, red 4, yellow skip.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't really want to play the ammo there and risk that link in the chain of the yellow and the red 4s. So then he hit me with the +4 anyway, so it wouldn't really have mattered. Yeah, I don't really. I felt like I was fighting really hard from the back a lot of those games, but he just got to finish before I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have. Maybe I could have went to red 4, but at that point it's just 50-50 of what you pick, and it's just how it plays out, unfortunately.
Right. Toast, that's weird, man. So you wanted the green wild. I'm trying to think because you had just played a green too. I'm interested on. So was that? Let me see. It's strange, Seth, to break this down because he drew off the green.
Yeah.
What was it?
I'm also looking when Cody talks about maybe going to the
crazy.
red 4 instead of breaking into the yellow. There was still a finish there with the red +2.
Okay, see, I get the connect to the ammo because you really didn't have a connector in the ammo and green. So maybe. So what did you get off that? What did you get off of here? The Uno draw when he put. This is funny, man. This is a lot. I'm trying to think then piece by piece this, but there's just a lot of strange. I feel like we were playing hokey pokey on one color. The only thing Cody could have done, as he said, would have maybe played a yellow or played a red 4. But then if he plays the red, then it's back over. So I don't know. Weird game. I don't know, Seth. Those last 3 games were just strange.
I think the only color that at that point stops Toasty from winning is the green, and that would have then kind of gone back to the using of that wild +4 early on. Could have been his connector, and he wouldn't have had it.
But you didn't have no green number, right, Cody? That was your last green after the 1?
Wait, which one?
Off the green 1?
Yeah,
you didn't have anything.
I only his
Yeah.
I think his thing gave me 2 greens. Yeah, it gave me a green 5 and a green 9 off his +4.
You played it right. Okay, so you had no green.
Yeah.
The top decker was just a yellow 4.
He was
Okay.
having to draw off of green.
Well, I had the yellow 4 from the beginning and the red 4 from the beginning. It was just really most of a choice of which way to go.
Okay, so it didn't. Yeah, no, then it wouldn't have mattered because you had a. I mean, let me just check. Red. Well, I mean, the only thing you could have done. Yeah, I think the only thing you could do there, honest to God, Seth, would be just play a draw. I mean, that's the only thing you could legit do. And at that rate, do you really take the draw? You look at the card history. We have been dancing around that whole game on every color, and it was just such a weird game because every time Llamas threw a wild, Toast threw something, right, and then every time Llamas threw something, we were just dancing around one color, and Toast was dancing around one color. It was just strange to really depict what was going on.
Yeah, these last 2 games were very, very unusual, and I think, like we said,
fun, but it was unusual.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I mean, especially back in Game 6, but I think just as much here in Game 7, difficult to be able to get that read. I mean, like we said there with Cody, I mean, how do you know that the only play you've got to be able to stop him from having a change at the end is to draw and keep it in the green. You don't. There's, he didn't, with his wilds, he had obviously the mistake there with the one wild keeping it in blue, but then he made the initial with the +4 over to red. So you're not thinking in the back of your mind of, that green is going to be the color he's iced out in. So yeah, very difficult there, I think, on both sides to be able to get reads here in these final 2 games, and I think that played a pivotal part here. But credit to Toasty here as well, because playing that blue wild when it was already blue, a lot of people would all of a sudden start to go into panic mode and maybe start second guessing himself. He stayed very composed. He utilized his +4 to get it over to the color he needed. He had those cards waiting in the wings. That chain just had to get to the color he needed. He didn't panic. He kept the composure and was able to overcome that slight little mistake there.
Ironically, though, I think about if he goes to that blue wild, he still had a blue reverse and a blue +2.
Exactly.
So even if he did make the mistake, I guess he was just looking for, that last connector. Oh,
He was good to go in 3 colors. He just needed to drain out his green.
Strange game. Real quick, Toby, I know we got to run because we got the other game, but your thoughts on playing Myth? That's going to be a crack show, to say the least, because that's going to be, 1-4? Yeah, it's going to be wild set. Those guys are going to be absolutely juiced. We know Myth is a 5-8. Toast likes the 5 when he wants. What's his thoughts on that? We'll see. But strange game. I think it was just weird. The first 3 out of the first 4 games was just weird. We saw stupidity on the +4s and then flexing, and then we saw game 5. Toast gets the win off a defensive power play, which Cody was 1 turn away. Game 6, Llamas won that with nothing. And then this game, both guys kind of had something. And then it just was down to the point of where would the last return be? And ultimately, a weird mistake from Toast. He gets away with Mercer. That's 2 game 7s today we saw where apparently Acosta made a mistake. And he got the win, but that was different because I think Acosta was on the road. But still crazy game. What was your final thoughts, man? My head's scratched. I got to get ready for the next one.
Yeah, we'll start getting ready to shift gears here. But yeah, I'm with you. Crazy finish to this one. It kind of was the tale of 3 segments, if you will. We ended up having the skill-based game 1 with that 5-card start. Really came down to the number of efficiency. Then just came down to those monster finishes midway through. And then it just came down really to who was able to fade the best, kind of hide their cards from the other side, as it was so difficult for reads on either end in these closing ones. But great series here. Cody put up a great fight. Toasty moving on there to play Myth. That should be a good one, and that's just the precursor, if you will, of our stream games here. Is immediately coming up after this one. We're going to be having Vapor versus Ed, so join us for that. We'll be starting to get that one set up, and then later on here tonight, primetime, you got KT versus Abion to complete our beverages here today, as we are in soda and slushy region pretty much for the entirety of this Thursday afternoon. So we'll cut this one off here. We'll see you guys on the flip side for the upcoming stream between Vapor and Ed. Appreciate KT joining me here at commentary, Vapor being our referee. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes as we continue on. T3 here for the 2025 MRE Uno Tournament in Movie May.
This has been a presentation of MRE Division 1.